Hey, does your back hurt or crunch when you come up to an upward facing dog? Well, in this video, I'll give you some tips and techniques to help you alleviate some of that wretchedness. Hey, welcome back to Tips and Techniques. I'm Mark. You know, I have a lot of students that ask me, Mark, I cannot get into this perfect upward facing dog, and I'm going to show you right now with a picture on what people think it should look like. Do you see that big curve on that low back? Well, that's where students think they have to be, and I have a couple tricks that'll help you alleviate some of that low back pinching. You don't have to have that perfect 90-degree bend. The most important thing is to find comfort and ease through your low back. First of all, you have to have an understanding of your pelvic tilts and a sense of core connection and core control. How to create that pelvic tilt. So if I turn to the side, creating that tailbone tuck, pelvic hip rises, and this motion. So I'm just going to create this and make sure you understand how to create your own pelvic tilt. To fully understand the concept of the pelvic tilt and a core engagement, we're going to do an experiment. Come to your belly into Sphinx pose. From here, we're going to do something the opposite of core connection and the opposite of a pelvic tilt, just to further get the emphasis of how not to do the pose. Relax your belly and make your belly very heavy. Don't engage it, just be relaxed. You got to be careful with this experiment because you'll feel a slight discomfort in your low back. So relax and gently lift your legs up. And right about here is where I feel low back discomfort. So that was an example of what not to do. This is how to create that core connection and the pelvic tilt to bring ease and space to your back. In Sphinx pose, lift your hip up, create your pelvic tilt forward, pause, bring core connection, squeeze your belly in and up to your spine, and now lift your legs up. And you should feel you should be able to get a little higher without no low back compression. From Sphinx, let's transition to that and apply it to upward facing dog. Take your time. Come into a high push-up pose on your knees and draw your chest forward, round your shoulders up and back. And right at this point is when you create that pelvic tilt. Draw your belly in, bring your shoulders up and back. Here's a key point as well. You don't have to have your chest upright at a 90-degree angle. I tell students it's perfectly fine to have their upward facing dog here with elbows bent. As long as you have your shoulders up and back, that's a great upward facing dog to be at. So that's about it. So recapping, you need two things you have to understand: pelvic tilts and core connection. If you haven't subscribed yet to EPY Empowered, go ahead and do so you'll get the latest content for these tips and techniques. Until next time, bye-bye.